Hi everyone, it's Andrew. Hi, yeah, I am here. This isn't a voiceover. And it's bench time. It's time to see how I'm progressing with the B16, and I hope you can agree some fairly significant progress has been made. Obviously the main thing I've done is paint it, or at least get the starting colour on, but there is another subtle difference that maybe you can see already from where you are. If you've been following Instagram, you'll have seen already maybe that I have also cut the roof off. So let's just talk about the paint first of all. So this is the base coat of green that I'm going to have. I am going to do a camouflage on top of this. So it's going to be the kind of NATO brown with a bit of very dark, almost blacky green. I've got the colours around somewhere. So these are the enamel paints. They are my Revell enamels that I got as a set of 6. I might do a little video on that. I did promise at some point an airbrushing video, so maybe that'll be the thing. So as you can see, I think it looks a lot better. It's not glued on yet. Okay, everything's still, it's just placed on there for so you can get an idea what's going on. It looks a lot better than it did. Obviously it's all in one colour now. I've done the chassis as well, so that's green. You can maybe see most of that is green, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. I haven't really, there's a few things I'd still work on really if I could be bothered. I don't know whether you can, there's a bit of a seam line in there across the front of the tank. The camera's maybe not, you can maybe see it there, okay, just above this bit on the tank itself. But generally speaking, the seam line's not too visible down the side, and on the other side it's not too bad at all. There's a few bits where I've been light with the paint again. The trouble with painting in the semi-gloom or the total darkness, as this country has at the moment, is it's easy to miss bits with the paint, with the airbrush. So but yeah, it's going to have a lot more paint put on it as we go along. The hose is going to go on last because I'm going to basically put that on as it is glossy black. I'm going to put it all on, glue it all on after the paint's been done, and then I'll matte lacquer over it to give it that kind of scale matte black look. So there's just really the cab to talk about. Let me, probably easier to take the cab off and then remove this. Yeah, I mean the main thing on here that I've done obviously is the roof. If you've been following us on Instagram, you'll see some of the pictures of the work in progress. I've cut the roof off, left a frame around, so there's a frame back here, like a hoop around the top, and the side panels are in. Across the middle I've put a cocktail stick through to drill the hole in the back, slide the cocktail stick in, and so that gives a little bit of support. I don't know whether you can see it in there, right in the middle. And then I've covered it in tissue, coated with PVA glue, diluted. So it's really just some of this thick white wood glue with some water. You know, you take your tissue, which is incidentally just a 4-ply tissue from a travel pack. I tend to try and use plain tissue rather than embossed. The edges are embossed, which is why they're cut off. Okay, but generally it would be plain tissue. I don't want any quilted pattern like you know, like kitchen roll might be. It's probably blowing out, isn't it? But you can probably see there's a pattern on there which is not going to be appropriate. So, and then I just cut it out, stuck it on, trimmed it to match. I've before I painted it, I trimmed along the edges with a knife. I wanted it dried, obviously, so it's got some reasonably sharp edges on, and yeah, and then it's sprayed up okay. It's a bit crinkly, probably a little bit. I mean, it's hard because the wood glue's gone hard, but it probably would have a bit more tension than this in real life. But you know, such as who cares? Here's the real picture. The picture of a drawing of the real thing, a painting of the real thing. So you can see the soft roof on there. It's got the kind of press stud arrangement on there to clip down and all this kind of like an open top car might. So an open top car of yesteryear, like an MG or something. I haven't bothered with any of that detail. It's a WPL kit. I'm not going to go to town. But yeah, so that, I mean, that's worked out okay. It's a bit thin. Obviously, it'll get a hole in it if I'm rough with the truck. But I think the job's good, isn't it? I think the job will do. It's just an interesting alteration to the truck as standard. There's plenty of B16s out there, so this one will look a little bit different. And I've forgotten to do the bonnet, as you can see, for reasons only. Well, I don't even know, quite honestly. I just realised yesterday, after I'd finished painting it, last night in fact, that I hadn't put the bonnet on. So yeah, well, you don't really need the camera focused, but it's always nice, isn't it? Come on, camera, join in. So yeah, so bonnet is still brown, and it's not really going to work terribly well as it is. So yeah. Now, what else is crack-a-lacking? The wheels. I've made a lightning change of mind with the wheels, and decided to go with the rims that were supplied with the Julies. You've seen the Julie last time. You saw those wheels. So these are the front wheels with their kind of hub behind them, instead of the WPL wheels that I had previously looked at. So yeah, I in the end I just like this style, and I know that the bolt heads are quite visible. Can I see how close I can get this without it freaking out? Yeah, you see the bolt heads are quite visible, but they don't look too bad. There'll be a bolt obviously in the middle as well, where the cocktail stick's poking out. But yeah, that's about it. Now, I have done a video on the roof. Let me just point that out. I have done a separate video of the whole process. If you're curious to see how I did this, do check the video. I'll put a link somewhere on the screen, and go check it out. It's a 12-15 minutes, quarter of an hour. It's something like that. I recorded about 45 minutes in total from start to finish to get this set and done. Obviously not painted, but I've edited it down to about 12 minutes, 15 minutes, so you don't nod off. But if you're curious of the process and you're curious as to just how much work it is, check it out. Otherwise, you think it's a bit rubbish, let me know, because I like it. I could do better. If I tried again, I think I would do a better job next time, just a bit more realism. But yeah, it's WPL, so I'm not going to go to town too much. And that's it. So I'm going to paint the interior this week, during the week in the evenings. And so that's ready to go in. And then at the weekend, when there's a bit more daylight, I will attempt the camouflage painting, and deal with the glazing. I might do some glazing. I might prepare the glazing anyway once the interior is done. The headlights are going to get some treatment because I don't like bare LEDs sticking through. I was intending to put the WPL winch in instead of this plastic moulded in one, so that'll get cut out and looked at. So yeah, I mean, it's coming together. It is coming together pretty well, pretty quickly. It's always the case when you start painting things, isn't it? They appear to suddenly burst into life. The camera's not... come on. What is the matter with you? I think it's got the hoof because I upset it. I made it focus manually, sort of thing, and I think it's got the strop on. So it's coming together nicely. Look, the wheels will sit. They're going to sit nicely under there. And should we put one of these on tyre? We all like wheels, don't we? We all, I think every RC nut has a thing about tyres and wheels. Or maybe it's just the people I know. Mentioning no names. Steve, Terry. There you go. So that looks like quite a proper army truck wheel now, doesn't it? And I think it's going to sit, if the camera will pay the slightest bit of attention to what I'm doing. Anyway, it's going to sit something like that. It's not playing ball, is it? Let's mock it up. There we are. It's not having it, is it? Come on, camera, sort yourself out. There you go. Fancy camera, eh? Might as well use me bleeding phone. Oh, you're on your last warning. Yes, you'll be on your, you'll be out. I'll use the phone. That'll really hack you off, won't it? Yeah. So it's going to look a bit like that. I think that's going to look perfectly awesome. I really do. Anyhow, so there you go. So from that slightly ramshackle, disappointing ending, I shall leave you, and we will tune in next week and let's see where we are, because it might actually start to be all the stuff affixed to the chassis, camo paint, and it might, the end will be in sight, I hope, by next Tuesday, because I'm itching to get on with the Hummer now. Alright, so thank you for watching, and do check the video of the tarp roof, and I'll put a link at the end to the previous episodes if you've missed any. Alright, thank you so much, and goodbye, and here I am, just to say I'm not live, not, not a voiceover man, not yet, anyway. Alright, I'm going to wait for a call from my agent, and see how my Bitcoin's doing. Right, good night, thank you, and take care, see you next week.